Parking lot area. That's Mario Andretti. That bright red car out in front, the red and white machine, is Danny Sullivan.
I notice that Danny's falling back just a little bit now, and it's probably because of the wing, but he may take a second gulp of air and take another swing at Mario in just a little bit. Danny is a very aggressive driver, and if he can find another way to drive around this wing problem, he'll take another swing at him in just a little bit.
The battle continues for the lead. Third place continues to be Jeff Brabham. In fourth place is Bobby Rahal. Allenser Jr. is in fifth. Emerson Fittipaldi is now running in sixth, and Bruno Giacomelli is in seventh. So nothing has changed there. The fight is here at the front of the field.
A lot of the guys are probably turning their boost back early on because you see it's the same old deal. Mario runs
Let's
longer.
watch this. The report comes in, Bobby, that Bobby Rahal, that's the correct car that we're looking at, the number 3 machine, is bottoming out and throwing sparks.
Well, he'll do that, but they have rub blocks under the front of the car and under the back, and those will wear off. They can wear clear down to about a 1/16 of an inch, and they start out with about probably 3/8 of an inch. So he's got a long way to go for that's a problem.
Bobby Rahal currently running in 5th place, and that is your nephew, Allenser Jr., right behind him. As he challenges, we look back to the leaders. There is Mario Andretti. And that wing, it seems like it's actually moving down further. Well, Danny Sullivan's car. We get a view from the front.
It's a pipe that got bent. The aluminum, of course, is only superficial on the outside. It's got a pipe that is the structure of it. Once that's bent, it's kind of kinked, and then it no longer has any strength.
All right, the question then becomes, when they come in for a pit stop, that's the finest pit crew in the service right there, the Penske team, are they capable of making a sufficient change on that car when they stop? Can they change that wing?
They won't do it unless it's desperate. If Danny complains too much, of course, they'll just put another nose on it. They already know what the settings are in the wings, and just slide a new nose on. But they will not do that unless it's a long yellow. They may do it under yellow, but probably as long as Danny can stay with it, they'll just leave it alone.
We talked about passing, the ability to pass here, the fact that there are no true long straightaways here. The top 10 in the field have remained in the relative same positions that they started this race in. The battle is still here at the front. Of course, we will continue to try and move back through the field as things occur. But right now, we are looking at Mario Andretti. He is the defending champion. He carries the number 1, indicating that. Danny Sullivan is right behind him. Danny Sullivan does have a problem that occurred on the second lap of this race when he moved up, apparently just tapped the back end of Mario Andretti's car and bent the left front nose wing on the car. So we watch with Andretti leading, Danny Sullivan in the challenging position, just exactly what we expected. We'll be right back. Back at the U.S. Grand Prix of the Meadowlands, 8 laps complete. Mario Andretti is still the leader, and he has just completed his 6,000th lap as a leader in IndyCar running. That's a magnificent statistics early in the race. He is still the leader, has been from the green flag.
That's a heck of a record to hold, Paul.
And the challenge continues to come from Danny Sullivan, though it is a bit of an abated challenge. Danny Sullivan, there you see it very clearly. That wing is down, dragging on the ground, but still Sullivan's in there trying to fight with Andretti.
It doesn't seem to be hurting anything right now. It doesn't appear, Paul, but I do think that it's going to wear out. It's rubbing on the ground with such a force that I think he's going to wear the outer part of it off, and then he's going to lose a little bit of the ground effects underneath the wing.
All right, but what can the Penske team do about it? At this moment in the Penske pit is Bruce Jenner with this report. Bruce?
Thank you, Paul Page. Down here in the Danny Sullivan pit, I just talked to Chuck Sprague, and in fact, Danny Sullivan didn't even know he had bent the front wing. The crew, through the reports, had found out that it had been bent. They had to tell him that it was bent, so obviously the handling has not been affected that much. Their attitude right now is just a wait-and-see attitude. The handling doesn't seem to be affected. We'll see what happens. Let's go back up to Paul Page.
Thank you, Bruce Jenner. So Danny Sullivan, not even aware, it apparently isn't bothering the handling too much.
No, but it could later on. Remember, that wing is so low, he can't even clear the curbings if he has to run over any of them.
Now, currently running in 3rd place, just a bit back from these cars, is Jeff Brabham. But there is a report from the observers that there might be something wrong in the rear suspension of his car, and they're continuing to observe it. At the moment, they do not intend to bring him in. The fight is still for the lead. The top 10 continues to be static.
Well, that Sullivan is pushing Andretti just by. There's Jeff Brabham right now, and he doesn't appear to have any problems, and I'll bet he doesn't know much about him because he's really going quite fast and doing a good job.
Of course, riding in 3rd place right now, he has a clear circuit just ahead of him, so he can run just as fast as he is capable of running, and he's hoping to see a sign of the fight in front of him, which is first and second. Now here's a fight just a little further back. It is the fight for third place in the field. The black car is Jeff Brabham. Right behind him is Bobby Rahal. And Rahal, now watch, he's been bottoming on the main straightaway. There's a bump right there. You saw him go over it. When he does, sparks come off the back of the car. Bobby just indicated that it was skid blocks and shouldn't be a problem on the car. Let's go to Bobby Rahal's pit. Here's Gary Gerald.
Well, Paul, it's a special type of skid block. The owner, Jim Truman, I understand you have titanium underneath the car.
Right. It's our best effort to run the car as low as possible and prevent the tub from being damaged. Titanium gives us a little better protection, and it seems to give a little brighter spark, too.
Well, you've got a great battle right now with Jeff Brabham for third. We're going back
Gary,
to Paul
I've got to
Page.
interrupt you because we've just had a change in the leader. Danny Sullivan, with a sudden move, was able to force his way past Andretti, but Andretti's falling back fast.
Well, that was a good pass by Danny, and I think we'd have to assume that wing damage is not really hurting him too bad.
Well, maybe it even helped him. Maybe they've done something that works there, because he moved past Andretti, and now Andretti moves back just a little bit.
Marius falling back fast, Paul. I think he must have a problem. You know what could be happening, too, is that fuel thing I was telling you about. He might be dialing his boost back. Let's watch him a little bit.
Exactly my question. You mentioned it at the start of the show. Is this strategy or is this a problem?
Well, we'll watch him just a little bit, and I'll tell you whether it's a strategy or a problem, believe me.
All right, our first change in the lead. Here it was as it happened. Sullivan pulled up, coming across the bridge, onto the inside of Andretti. Andretti pulls high. Sullivan moves past. It almost looked like Andretti allowed it to occur.
No, he didn't give him any place, Paul. He absolutely closed the door on Mario. Mario had no way to cut in, because when he got his bite, he did it with all four tires and was even with him. That was a good pass, really.
Sullivan got his car in there, and when he did, of course, he owned the turn, moving past Jan Lammers, one of the back cars. Here is Jose Garza. Now, they brought him in under the black flag. They wanted to consult something on the car. Naturally, they will refuel the machine. They've apparently checked at the cart officials and sending it back into competition. But in that, the first real stop of the day, Jose is going to lose a lot of time. He was not up in the front of the competition. There's our leader, Danny Sullivan.
Danny is still going good and just pulling away from Mario, but we haven't had enough on Mario really to see whether he has a problem or not.
Mario Andretti currently riding in second place. There he is, and that's indicative of what the interval was. And the leaders, of course, encountering some of the slower cars in the field now. They have already passed Lammers. They have already passed Dick Simon. There is Danny Sullivan coming through. And still, that wing certainly looks like it is down substantially. And here is the fight now for third and fourth place. Currently occupying third place, the number 7 machine. That is Jeff Brabham, and Bobby Rahal is right behind him, and they're weaving their way through those slower cars as well now.
It's interesting that the number 7 of Jeff Brabham's is a course car owned by the Gallus team, and young Ronnie Dawes has designed a new set of tunnels for that car. A new set of tunnels that caused the downforce, Paul. And it would appear to me that maybe they did them right this time.
Well, something is working for Bobby Rahal as well. He has not had a great season. First race of the season, 2 laps gone. He is out of the race. The battle for third place you saw there. Here is our leader once again. Danny Sullivan leads here at the Meadowlands. Andretti is second. Jeff Brabham currently sits in third. We'll be back at the Meadowlands right after this. From high above the Meadowlands in New Jersey. The pictures, of course, from the Goodyear Blimp America from Houston, Texas. At the controls today, the assistant chief pilot Larry Chambers from Spring, Texas. And at the Meadowlands, it is still Danny Sullivan that leads. But while we were away, this car, the number 6 machine, driven today by Roberto Marino, who is replacing Pancho Carter for this race, lost it alone, got it against the wall. He immediately hopped out of the car. The contact was heavy to the left side. You can see him standing just to the right of the picture. He is obviously okay, and in his rookie ride in an IndyCar race, he passed his rookie test at Indianapolis Raceway Park last Monday. He's learned his first lesson.
It's kind of sad because it's his first year. I've watched Roberto Marino run over by Hong Kong in Macau, and I thought he was impressive, but he's had that luck today.
This is the battle for fourth place. That is Bobby Rahal currently in fourth. That is your nephew, Al Unser Jr. in the hot one, as he is now challenging Rahal. Rahal earlier was up beginning a fight with Jeff Brabham. Now that fight has moved backwards. Jeff Brabham is running alone, and Bobby Rahal is having to hold Little Al off.
Well, he's definitely fighting behind him now, not in front of him. And Little Al's chewing on him, and he's out to get him pretty soon. He's been moving up pretty rapid.
Back to the leaders once again. The number 4 Miller, that is Danny Sullivan. He picked up the lead from Mario Andretti. Mario led from the green flag, and then Danny Sullivan picked up the lead from Mario on a